Hello and welcome to another Engine Talk episode, and this would be episode 31, and today I'm going to speak about my readiness and my willingness to get out and run some engines. But unfortunately the weather in this state is not cooperating. What's been happening in the last few weeks is we may get 1 or 2 days in a row that are really nice to run engines, and I'm either not prepared or those 2 days are it and then it goes back to being cold. So today it's raining. I mean, freezing rain. So it's not really freezing on the ground or anything. It's coming down as liquid water, but it's cold outside. So the other thing with me running engines in the location I run them in is that I go off the road a little bit. So right now, even if it was sunny and 60 degrees outside, I probably couldn't get to where I could run engines just because of the ground being so wet and damp. So unfortunately it's probably going to be at least another week or two before I can get my first engine runs in. So what I'm going to talk about today is some engines and potentially the ones that I'm going to be running first and another disassembly project. So let's go to the table and talk about some real engines and get off of looking at my face. Okay, so here on the table I've got 2 engines that are basically ready to go, ready to rock and roll. First, I've got this nice, beautiful Moki 210 that Garrett sent to me. And both of these are probably going to be used for the swamp juice fuel experiment that he and I are going to be conducting this year. I have to ask him first if he wants that to be running this G4500 engine or not. But it's definitely going to be running this Moki 210. And when I say it's ready to run, I mean that it's all cleaned up. It's got new bearings. Everything is freed up. It's just waiting for, I've got another carb I might put on here though too. I've got a lot of different Moki parts at this point because of Garrett, thankfully. So the Moki 210 is ready to go. The G4500, this big boy, is ready to go. I finally got it mounted to my PSP upright, and I'm just hoping that I've never run an engine this large on any stand. I don't think I've ever run an engine this large. So I'm hoping this thing doesn't just eat this apart and tear these bolts out, but we'll have to wait and see. So this engine is ready to go also. I did not replace bearings in it, but I did do a nice hand cleaning, and this thing has got massive compression. So one of the things I noticed was Garrett had sent it to me, and this was a used engine. He's never done anything with it. It had this mechanism here for the throttle arm. Well, let me zoom in here a bit more so you can see this better. I have disconnected it. It's just a ball link here. I have disconnected it because what I found was when it was connected, and I had to set this carb up in a specific way or adjust this throttle arm so that this throw would work. And I got it so that it was working, but then I started seeing, well, how in the hell am I gonna get a throttle arm under my stand to hold that unless I'm sitting here behind the engine doing this thing? So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do here is probably get another, I think I have a ball link someplace. I might have ball links stuck to my magnet someplace. Oh, actually I don't need a ball link. There's one right here. What I'm going to do is get this portion of the ball link. I'm sure I've got some of those. If not, I think my hobby store might still have some. And I'm just going to use, I am just going to use a metal throttle arm that goes through this hole here, which is bent at an angle so that it can actuate this throttle like that. And that'll keep it out of the way of the exhaust that's mounted here. And you can see as it is, the carb is already canted at an angle a little bit because it had to be canted at an angle for this original linkage to actuate fully and freely. I probably can alter the angle of this now when I get my new throttle rod made up. So I don't know if, it's one of those things where you go all winter, or I go all winter without having run an engine. And it's just like anything. You get kind of rusty about doing some things, and I guess the first time I run an engine for the new season, I'm always a little apprehensive. It's like, how much did I forget? Do I still remember how to run engines and do all that stuff? So I'm sitting here thinking, do I want to start with one of these big boys, or do I want to start with something a little more tame? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So that is that. This is the final topic for today's. And yes, this just so happened to be my birthday box. So I've got a box here containing recent acquisitions. Actually, I've had them for a while. I just haven't gotten around to doing anything with it. And this bag is a bag of all kinds of Enya parts for this Enya 4-stroke engine. So many of you know that I just simply love Enya 4-stroke engines, and this is an Enya 60 that I got off of, it wasn't off eBay, it was just off of a person, and for the life of me I can't remember his name at this moment. I got a couple engines from him, but anyway, he had got this. I don't think he said he did anything with it, and to me it looks like it's in need of some cleaning, because I like to have all my engines nice and clean and all that. So this is going to be the subject, or potentially the subject, of another disassembly video series if anybody's interested in it. Now, again, the Enya 60 is another one of those engines very much like the OS FS90. It was an engine that I did very, very early on when I started this channel back in like 2015, 2016. And I had done several of these. I don't think I've done one of these in a while. I did an Enya 80 probably when Harvey gave me mine back a year and a half or so ago. So I love Enya engines. I love all Enya engines, but I love the Enya 4-strokes because the very first 4-stroke I ever bought in 1989, I believe it was an Enya 80 4-cycle. So right now in my inventory, I have an Enya 46 4-cycle, which is the reverse rotation prop setup. I've got the Enya 60 again, and I've had many of these in the past. I've got an Enya 80, I've got an Enya 90, and I've got the original 120 version, not the R120. Those are the Enya 4-strokes I've got. So this one is in need of a cleanup and probably a refreshing. So I went to eBay. My buddy Bobby Brooks on eBay, he still sells a lot of this stuff. In fact, here's a card that he sends with his stuff here. And I got all the gaskets possible that I could possibly need for this engine, just so that I can make it nice and pretty and fully operational again, to include, the O-ring seals. And I think, see, these things don't really they have part numbers on them, but I'm not sure where that particular one goes at this time. Here's the O-ring seals. Some rear cover timing gasket. So I've got all the parts necessary to get this engine operational, and the Boca bearings also. So the only thing that I see that's an issue with this engine is right here. Now, these were sold initially without any kind of a muffler on them at all. They just came with a header, but this header is bent at an angle that it's not supposed to be bent at. It's not supposed to be bent that much. It's supposed to just kind of come out a little bit. I don't know how. I tried to stick, some flexible piping and stuff in here to try to rebend that, but that is such a strong piece of steel, and I didn't want to damage it. So I wanted to try to bend this out so that it's at the more correct angle, but other than that, this is the only drawback to this particular engine, is that this exhaust stub just kind of sucks. And I don't think that I've seen that Mr. Brooks has exhaust stubs as part of his inventory of stuff. So anyway, let me know if anybody is interested in seeing me disassemble this Enya 64 cycle engine, and I will make a video series on this. And then of course there's probably going to be a Boca bearing video made for it to replace this engine. Has 4 bearings in it. Let's see, 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, and then it's got one here and then one back here. So it's a 4 bearing engine. Kind of similar to the OS FS90, except that was a 5 bearing engine, I believe. But anyway, so this is a nice little project that I'd like to get running soon. This isn't going to be the first engine I run by any means. It's either going to be one of these two or something else that's already ready to go. But I'm just kind of throwing this out there to see if anybody's interested in seeing an Enya 60 4-cycle engine series and disassembly, reassembly series again. And if not, then you can just go and look at the ones that I've already put out from 10 years ago or so. So that's our engine talk video for today. An update on the weather conditions, an update on engines that are ready to go, and an update on something new that I'm going to be working on here soon, especially since I don't have a whole lot of, or really I've only got one customer engine sitting here that I'm working on, and that one's really waiting for weather so that I can run it. So anyway, that's our video for today.